Welcome to Lifestyle Solopreneur, the community for entrepreneurs who put lifestyle first. Join your host, Flavia Barris, as she interviews successful lifestyle solopreneurs and shares ideas to help you find the perfect balance between lifestyle, business, and self. Flavia is an attorney, marketing expert, and founder of several online academies. She's been featured in major media, including BBC World News, The Wall Street Journal, The New York Post, ESPN Television, and more. Join us for this episode of Lifestyle Solopreneur.
Hey, Lifestyle Solopreneurs. Today we get to speak with Megan Meyers. She created the Shine Online Network, a one-of-a-kind national network that empowers women at all stages of life to start and grow their first online business. Megan is also the author of the book, Shine Online, How to Start a Successful Virtual Business and Gain the Freedom and Flexibility to Live Your Best Life Now. Welcome to the show, Megan.
Thank you so much, Flavia. I'm so happy to be here.
So great to have you. You know, one of the things that I love is that women are sort of, I don't want to say dominating. I'd like to think that it's kind of like equal, but the online space is one of those where gender equality was like there very early, right? I mean, there's lots of careers and professions where they were very male dominated for like the better part of decades or, a century. And then, women have like found their toehold and now we're neck and neck and even. But I think the online world has been a little bit different. But tell us a little bit about where you began, how this journey started, and what the Shine Online Network is.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah. So, my background, my entrepreneurial journey began when I was 18. I started a dance studio. I started teaching dance, opened my first business when I was 18 and did that for about 14 years and loved it. Worked 24/7, started off as doing my own thing. I was a teacher, sort of one room, one teacher doing everything. And over those 14 years, developed a staff of 10, 7,000 square foot, multiple dance rooms, hundreds of students. I was simultaneously really in the beginning of owning my business, had my little group of students, but then in the need to grow my dance studio, started to learn about sales and marketing and found that I really loved it. So along these 14 years of just learning the in the trenches stuff that all business owners learn of managing staff, growing staff, creating systems, pleasing customers, I was really immersed into sales and marketing just from a passion. Not only did it grow my business, but I found that I really loved it. And so for those 14 years, I was happily a workaholic, definitely a workaholic, but loved it. I was in my 20s, had nothing else to do except work. And it wasn't like I was digging ditches. I was teaching dance and we were producing dance recitals and picking out costumes and, listening to Top 40 all day long. And it's a very fun, positive job. So it was a fun thing to be doing 24/7. And that was all fine and dandy until I became pregnant with my first child in 2015. And there were a few moms and people I knew, I think sort of moms who were the older, wiser women of my life. A few of them sort of pulled me aside, mentioned, your life might change a little bit. Your priorities might change a little bit. I think just giving me a little bit of a heads up as this very independent workaholic type of woman. And I thought, I totally blew off their advice, their heads up. I thought, oh, that is so old fashioned. Like I am a child of the 90s. I am this empowered woman, created my own business, building my own life. Like yes, I want to be a mother, but like, come on, this baby is not changing anything. Well, Mother Nature be damned. That was not true at all. As soon as that baby was there, my priorities absolutely shifted overnight. And I no longer was willing to have my life revolve around my customers and my employees and my business. And I immediately, as much as I loved all of that, wanted to now be home with this baby and take care of this baby all the time. So my priorities absolutely did shift instantly overnight. But at the same time, I didn't want to give up. I had built a business over 14 years. It was a big part of my identity. And then there was a reality factor that at this point, my husband and I, that was our sole source of income. We were both running our business together. And that was where I thought we paid our bills. So we literally could not just close up shop. And, that was just how our life was designed. So there was this part of me that's like, how do I stay home? How do I get more freedom, flexibility? How do I be the mom I want to be, shifting into this new season of life? But also, how do I maintain the income and that identity and not totally give up my business? And so I thought, I said, I was obsessed with sales and marketing. So part of that obsession led me to develop what was called the Princess Ballerina Dance Program for my studio. This program that was created to bring in the big market of the dance studio industry is little girls, 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old. That's the foundation of the dance studio business model. Though that's the biggest market, that's the most profitable market. That's where you meet students and bring them in, strike a passion for dance in their lives, and then hopefully they, continue dancing with you until they're 18 years old. That's kind of how the business model works. So I specifically put all my sales and marketing cachet and passion for dance into developing what I consider the world's greatest dance program for 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old little girls called Princess Ballerinas. And I did that, and it was working really, really well. And so I thought, why don't I just take this program that I've now been developing for 7 years? It's very profitable. It's very marketable. Families love it. It's this very imaginative, immersive experience. We go on imaginary adventures to like winter wonderlands, fairy gardens with theme-based music and props and imagination. And it's really this unique, beautifully choreographed experience for those students. And it was also very systematized. So I had the lesson plans for my teachers because I wanted insane consistency across classes. And it was really created to be franchisable, which I thought I would do for myself. So I thought, I'll just take this program. And to me, this was simplifying things. And I'll just open up multiple Princess Ballerina locations. And again, I couldn't get out of the brick and mortar thinking. I was very locked in that. That's to me, the only way a business could grow would be to open multiple locations. But, I'll simplify things by just doing one thing, and I'll stamp out multiple locations, and I can kind of leverage my staff. And so I hired a consultant to help me do that. And on our very first call, I think it was even our first discovery call, she said, well, why don't you just package this up and share it with other dance studio owners? And total light bulb moment, total aha. And I loved it. And so that's what I did. And I spent the next 6 months figuring out how I was going to do that. And it came down to the fact that I had this curriculum and program that was great for my studio, but I did want to sort of repackage if it were something I was going to bring out to the world. I did want to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit just for the visual aspect and repackaging and just make it more able for others to use and make it more clear. But I wanted to get it out quickly because here I was, this baby, I want to be home yesterday and pull back from my studio. And the idea of, okay, what if I do this on a subscription basis? That way I don't have to package it all up. So I ran a Facebook ad for a free sample of my Halloween themed lesson plan for my Princess Ballerina Dance Program. I put it out targeted interest-based to dance teachers, dance studio owners. And I had about 1,400 downloads in like 5 days. And it totally freaked me out. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I even going to do with this? These people, total imposter syndrome. I am a nobody. I have no credentials. I have no pedigree in this industry. I am a local dance studio owner. What do I think I'm doing? So I actually ended up shutting my ad off at that 1,400 point because it just was too freaked out. But what I did have the guts to do, because again, even though I had this insane imposter syndrome going on, my motivation to be at home with my baby was so great that I overcame my fear. And basically I followed up with an email and said, I'd love to know just peer to peer, what do you think about this? And I'm so lucky. Dance studio owners, they're educators, they're teachers. They are just some of the best people on the planet. And they wrote back and gave me their feedback, which I was happy to hear was very positive. They loved it. They loved the imagination. They loved the creativity. They loved how it's going to save them time. And so I sent out another email and I said, I have a lot of these themed lesson plans. I have 36 of them. I can send you one a month for $47 if you'd like to. Have me do that. And I had about 140 of those dance studio owners sign up, paying me almost $50 a month. And I was in business overnight, making more money. So Flavia, now at this point to run this business, I am sending out a monthly email, one email a month to all of these dance studio owners with some PDF files of my lesson plans. So the most simple product imaginable, one email a month. And now I'm making more profit with no overhead, no staff, no inventory than I am running my brick and mortar studio that outwardly looks success, and I was making good money with my studio too, but it's $7,000, dollars a month in overhead costs and almost $20,000 a month in payroll expenses and all the constant stress and headache and just moving parts that goes along with that. So seemed too good to be true. And so I definitely just kept it to myself, really didn't even tell anyone in my life. I mean, of course, my husband knew, but really didn't even tell close friends and family for about 6 months because it just felt too good to be true. And I just kind of kept this little secret online life and online business to myself for a few months. And then about 6 months into it, I thought, okay, this is real. The other shoe's not dropping. No one's quitting. It's only growing. I think this is legit. And an opportunity fell into my lap to basically sell my studio to another local studio that was expanding. They wanted to take over my staff, my students, the buildings. And it was like 2 weeks and I was out and footloose and fancy free. So for the past 7 years, that's what I've been doing, is sharing my Princess Ballerina dance program with over 2,000 studios now around the world. Very part-time, same exact business model, same Facebook ad I used 7 years ago, still works today. It's running right now as we speak. Follow up via email. And I have this very simple subscription business model, sharing my lesson plans with dance studio owners around the world.
Amazing story. Amazing story. And I bet you never get tired of telling that story either, because it's such a great journey, and what a transformation. So I bet you send like a gift basket every year to that coach who said to you, wait a minute, what about just packaging this and selling it directly to the studios, other studios where you don't have to run, 50 brick and mortars?
Exactly. Absolutely. No, we've definitely stayed in touch, and she's very proud to have seen the journey. And yes, no, I'm very, very grateful. And that really is the power of, I think, a coach, is seeing those opportunities that we don't see, right? It's the seeing the forest through the trees dilemma. So yes, absolutely. So thankful.
And not just the coaches, but that's one of the reasons I don't just host a podcast show. I listen to podcasts. I love having conversations with entrepreneurs. I like networking at, in-person live events, maybe virtual live events, or physically in-person ones, because you never know when that one sentence that somebody says is going to spark something that you can leverage and use to help your business grow and scale. I mean, this was
Absolutely.
a huge scalable shift to what you were doing before. So you've written a book and you also have this online network. So which chicken or the egg, which one came first? Did you have the network or did you have the book? And tell us about each of them.
So it's all about the same time, and it's the newest rendition. So I've been sharing, so this entire past 7 years that I've been sharing my dance program with dance studio owners around the world, living this very much solopreneur lifestyle, loving every minute of it, getting to be that mom I wanted to be. We go to parks when we want. We go to the zoo on Wednesday mornings when there's no crowds. And this entire time I'm having people in my, what I call real life, when you're bringing your kids to a birthday party, you're dropping them off at school and they ask, oh, what do you do? And then, or they, say, I know you have business, but you don't ever seem to be working. Like, what's up with that? And so I've had people say, oh, wow, well, can you help me start an online business? And I always shied away from it. And I said, absolutely, you should start an online business. It is the greatest miracle possible. Like, it is the greatest invention ever. Yes, everyone should have a virtual business, but I'm not going to be the one to teach you how to do it. I felt like I wasn't the person. And so I would refer them to some books, on Amazon, where they can kind of learn how a business like this works and, what's a lead magnet, how to create a course, whatever they want to learn. But I would always shy away from doing it. And then about a year ago, a little less than a year ago, I had an acquaintance and she reached out to me via text and said, I'm pregnant with my first child. I really want to create an online business. Is this something you could help me with? I told her the same thing I tell everyone. No, I don't do that. Here's some books. She came back again. Please, is there any way you're just such an inspiration. I would love to just pick your brain. And so I thought, okay, let me just at least get on the phone with this poor woman to find out what she wants. Well, we totally clicked. And it was at that call that the knowledge gap of these past 7 years was very apparent to me. Here is this woman. She was a middle school science teacher, but she's not just a middle school science teacher. She also trains thousands of teachers with her really innovative curriculum in her district. And so, and here was this person who knows very much what her expertise is, but she has zero idea how to package it, how to get it in front of her, other science teachers who can benefit from it. And I know exactly what, during this call, it's like I can just see plain as day. I know what her brand needs to be. I know how she needs to package it. I need to know what her freebie needs to be, what her, entry level product needs to be, what the upsell is, and how we're going to get it. It's like I can just see all this. It's just so obvious to me. And so I said, okay, yes, like let's work together. And we did. And it was just such a great experience that I said, I'm going to do more of this. So I absolutely have to do more of this. It's so great. I'm having so much fun, quote unquote, talking shop, marketing, creating the virtual products, just what I've been doing with my Princess Ballerina dance program. Let me help more people do this. This is so fun. So that was the inspiration to create the Shine Online Network, which is a way I can help. I'm now helping, lots of women do that. Take what's in their heart, their mind, their experience, whatever they are passionate about or something they've been doing, how to package that up into a simple digital product or products and create a simple online business. And if you'll notice, I keep using the word simple because I am 100% about the lifestyle. There are many, I also love sales and marketing. I continually read books. I take courses. I love to see what everyone's doing. I love to learn, but I don't implement a lot of that stuff because it isn't simple. It's very time intensive. And I am absolutely only going to do the very high leverage, very simple stuff that gives me the time freedom. So that's what I am focusing on now. I still have my Princess Ballerina dance program. It takes almost no time. It's, like I said, all on automation. So having so much fun helping other women create the same amazing, lifestyle business in their own life.
And so give us some of your kind of tech secrets or hacks, ways that you can keep your time. Because I know even when you have a lifestyle business, there's all of these demands on your time and from people, and you can have creep, right? Calendar creep, where the business does slowly kind of take over your free time. And one of the most difficult things about being an entrepreneur, because you do create your own schedule and you do sort of have the ability to give more time, right?
Sure.
Is to prevent that from happening. So what are some of the ways that you keep yourself in a lifestyle business and don't let it consume your schedule?
Sure. So I think, first of all, what is that lifestyle business? So that to me is the starting point. And that's the power of an online business, is that you truly get to create a business and life on your terms. So that's really where we have to start. Like, what are your metrics for success going to be? For me right now in the stage of motherhood, now my son is 7, who inspired all of this, but now I have a 16-month-old. So I'm right back in baby mode. And, is she going to nap? Is she not going to nap? Is she teething? Is she not teething? Life's a roller coaster with young children. So for me, that big thing is that flexibility. That is my metric. So I don't do a lot of one-on-one coaching. There's all these things you could do. I could do, like you said, there's almost so much opportunity. Anything that's going to take a lot of time, I don't do. I kind of tend to think and really search for my personal leverage points because I am looking for that time freedom. And I will absolutely sacrifice a lot of income streams, a lot of income opportunities, because it's just going to take too much time. And to me, yes, you need to make a certain amount of money to pay for your lifestyle bills. But after that time freedom is much, much more valuable to me as a mother of young children and what my priorities are right now. So that is number one, though. That can look different if you are in a different stage of life, pre-kids, post-kid, your kids are grown up, maybe you don't have children, whatever the case may be. Is your priority to travel? Are you a homebody? I'm a homebody. So even if I didn't have kids, I probably wouldn't be gallivanting all around this world anyway. I'm a homebody. So that is step one, is defining your metrics. For some people, that means not working on Mondays. Like, that would be such a lifestyle benefit for an online business for some people, or being able to take Fridays off, or just working Tuesdays through Thursdays, or just being able to work in the evenings, whatever that is, being able to travel, that might be it. So it's defining what those metrics of success look like for you. And then number two, once you define that, you do have to be brutal about maintaining that. So the way I do it is really, like I said, only doing the things that are very, very high leverage. So my lesson plan subscription is a one-to-many model. I could certainly get on the phone and be coaching dance studio owners if I wanted to. I don't want to do that. So I think then that creates that framework of like, here's how I want my life to work. Here's like the time I have. And then also, some people are video people, some people are not. Some people like to write, some people are audio people. So I think that's the next layer. There's like this time framework and energetic framework of like, and maybe it's a side hustle. A lot of people, this needs to start off as their side hustle, right? They've got the full-time job. They have the dream of the online business. They love that freedom and flexibility, but they can't go full-time until they replace the income. So it has to start off as a side hustle. So if that's the case, and you can only work on your online business on the weekends or in the evenings or on like Friday night from 3 to 5 o'clock, whatever, that's fine. We just need to know what those time constraints are and then build a business to fit into that. And then layering in what does that look like? So for me, I am not a social media person. If you look at any of my social media, you will see how pathetic it is. And so the message that I'm getting as a online entrepreneur is you got to be on social media. That's the only way to grow your business. You got to post 3 times a day, and here's the schedule. So for me, that's just so anti just my personality and also my time. I don't want to spend all that time on social media. And so I don't do it. And so I'm thankful now that I have these 7 years under my belt of extreme success of without any social media. Literally ads to email marketing is all I do. I do have a big email list, but I don't do social media. And so, and seeing, okay, I've been able to succeed without the social media. So now I've proven that to myself, but that's an area where definitely the message is, well, you've got to be on social media. But to me, that goes against sort of my personality and my lifestyle goals. So I guess it really just comes down to that extreme adherence to what you're willing to do, what your dream lifestyle looks like, and then designing something within that. And I've enjoyed having this like, okay, I can only work like 2 hours a day with young children. Typically one of those hours is in the morning or the afternoon during nap. And one of those is like in the evening when everyone's asleep. Now, how can I make a multi-6-figure business working a couple hours a day? And, some people would say, well, why do you think you deserve to make a multi-6-figure income working a couple hours a day? So you have to sort of like erase all these should, could, would opinions of the world. And I'm not saying that's easy because that's a big mindset piece you have to get over. You definitely have to break the work, money, time, money link, right? But I enjoy that challenge of, okay, how can I do this? So for me, it's like, all right, Facebook ads, those can be humming in the background while I am at the playground, right? Well, we're at the beach, my Facebook ad is running. And then dance studio owners are seeing my, free sample for my lesson plan, right? And they are downloading it, they're checking it out, and then they're either being attracted to it or repelled by it. It doesn't matter. That's all happening on autopilot, right? While I'm living my life, while I'm at the grocery store. Like I said, I'm a homebody. I actually love to clean. I'm one of those weirdos that likes to do laundry. I like to clean. I'm very domesticated that way. Like that is me living my best life. And so these samples are going out and then they're either falling in love with my work or they're repelled by my work, and either is A-okay by me. Those who are falling in love with it, they're signing up automatically. They're getting the link in the email. You want to pay me? Now it's $57 a month. Click, they get access, and now they're going to get a new lesson plan every single month. And my top studios, they have a couple hundred princess ballerinas in their program, and they're adding $100,000 to $200,000 new revenue stream to their business, and they're paying me $57 a month. Like, is that a good trade on their part? You betcha. And all of this is taking none of my time. So automation, so 2 things, well, 3 things, Flavia. Number 1, I use the platform Simplero. It's an all-in-one platform. So that is a big simplifier for me. I've refused to deal with multiple platforms. I care nothing about my tech stack. I have zero shiny object syndrome. I have one platform that can run my simple business and run it on autopilot so I can get back to my life. Number 2 is automating all of that. But I want to keep it really simple because, so it is literally, I'm running one basic ad with one basic offer that works and coming in, and then they get this email sequence. It's automated and it's very simple. And if you like this and you want more, then you can sign up for this subscription. And very simply, I will send you an email every month. And so it's a very simple business. And so all of that creates just incredible leverage, incredible impact, incredible profits, and also at the same time, incredible time freedom.
And incredible scale, because for every new person you bring on, you don't really have these like incremental costs. I remember one tax person, a CPA, when he was starting to do tax returns for online entrepreneurs, he said, okay, well, what is the cost of goods sold for each item that is sold? And he was blown away when he learned that there were some fixed costs and maybe some transaction fees for each credit card transaction, right? A little cut, but that there wasn't like a cost of goods sold. It's not like every time you sign on a new studio, you need to produce this like physical product or, have inventory in a warehouse. And that's the scalability of online business is one of its greatest, strengths, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It's a miracle. I mean, to think about, and I always look at it from like definitely the female perspective, but just think about, 100 years ago, just until now, since the dawn of time, it's like, think how hard people have had to like work to create something. And then even just until recently to have a business. I just look at my experience with running my brick and mortar studios. Like, I had to sign a 5-year commercial lease. I had to borrow a ton of money from friends and family to get that thing going. I had major expenses to keep it running. And there's all this just constant risk and moving parts and expenses. And you're right, you're doing so much more. There's so much volume to net, if you're lucky, that 20 or 30% profit margin in that particular business. So yes, I have just so much appreciation for this digital space where it's just, there's almost no expenses. It's crazy. I spend under $200 a month for my, Simplero account that runs my entire business on autopilot. It's a miracle. And yeah, it's truly a miracle. And then just as a woman, I think about like my grandmother actually went to college in the 50s, which is already very rare, but she always says you could become a teacher, a nurse, or a what's the third one? Teacher, nurse,
secretary.
Yes, exactly. So there's like these, that was your option.
You're pigeonholed for sure. Like,
yes.
Woman wants a job. Here are your options, right?
Exactly. And so not only do we have obviously so many options now in the workplace, but it's like online, you can literally be anything. It's like there are, and I'm sure on this podcast, you've seen there's probably so many unique niches, but then as a woman, you're not pigeonholed. There is no glass ceiling in the online world. You can be whatever you want, charge whatever you want, create whatever you want. And then as a mother, think historically, how many women have, if you have the luxury of choosing to stay home or work, there's still that choice. And it's not a choice without sacrifice one direction or the other. So I truly feel that I have been able to have it all absolutely and give up nothing as a mom or as an entrepreneur because of the miracle of the internet and digital products and online business. It's truly a miracle.
It is. So this miracle is available truly to pretty much anybody with Wi-Fi and a computer or who can get Wi-Fi and a computer. And you know what? Not even Wi-Fi, just internet service, right? You don't even need the Wi-Fi. You can just like plug into the wall. So how does somebody, and I guess I should go one step further, you can just walk into any Starbucks and do it too. You don't even need to have your own internet service at your house.
Right.
How does somebody join the Shine Online Network and learn more about it? How does someone connect with you if they want to learn more about you and your services and your story?
Sure. So my book, the Shine Online book, is really an overview of how to create an online business. It's really sort of the 30,000 foot overview, but also walks people through those initial steps of like, what would I like to create? Like and finding that intersection of like, what are your passions? What are your strengths? What's your experience? What's your skill set? And like everyone has that. And then also where does that intersect with market demand? Because that's, I think people they hear my story and it's like, well, of course, who wouldn't want just, this lifestyle business? So everyone, that's not the hard sell. The hard sell is then getting people to think, okay, well, what would I create? And then getting them past that sort of imposter syndrome of who would buy anything from me? And there's already people doing this. That's the challenge. And so my book walks people through that. And you can get the first chapter of the book for free on the website, shineonlinenetwork.com. If anyone wants to reach out to me personally, it's Megan at shineonlinenetwork.com. I am a solopreneur, proud solopreneur. So I will be the one answering your email. And then the Shine Online Network, if you're ready to move forward, it's a $1 first month trial. I like to make things easy. It let people in, experience all of the trainings, get their feet wet, experience the way I teach, my methods. I'm all about making things very simple, very step-by-step, very action-oriented, but you can get started, literally access everything I have for $1. And then if you decide to continue, it's $47 a month thereafter. And again, it's the point of the network is to create this touchstone of, because, you do decide to start a business of any kind. It can be a lonely journey. This is something sort of unconventional we're doing it, even though I think once you get into the online space, there are lots of people doing this. In the real world, there's still a lot of people that they understand a commute and a paycheck, right? They don't understand the online business world. And so it can be nice to stay connected and have a community and have a network of people doing it with you. Also, I'm a big believer in not reinventing the wheel, right? If there's someone who's done what you want to do, just why don't you shave that decade off of trial and error and shorten that path, shorten that learning curve. So it's part mentorship, it's part community. So yeah, but it starts with a $1 first month trial for anyone who's interested.
Awesome. Share with us one more time the URL where they can go to sign up.
Yeah, it's shineonlinenetwork.com.
Megan, it has been so fun to talk to you today. I love your story. I have been picturing these princesses twirling around, wearing tutus. So what you do is not only a great business for your own family, but I think it does bring a lot of just whimsical fun into children's lives, and you're doing it through all of these studios, because I doubt you would have ever opened this many studios yourself, brick and mortars. And now you're able to bring that fun and joy and dance and child development all around the world through your program. So I'm so glad you did it. I'm so happy that you've built the success you have. I love to see others succeed. I think it is not a zero-sum game. We should all be each other's cheerleader and supporter and mentor. And I love that you share your knowledge with all of your mentees. So for all of that, thank you for sharing your knowledge today with us here on this podcast.
Thank you so much, Flavia. I have enjoyed this so much.
Guess what, lifestyle solopreneurs? If you don't yet have an online business earning you enough passive income to live the life of your dreams, I'd like to suggest you consider trying out Kajabi. Kajabi is an all-in-one solution where you can create and teach online courses, publish a paid newsletter, launch a free or paid podcast, process payments, build one-on-one coaching portals for your clients, and much, much more. I personally use Kajabi to power numerous successful and profitable online businesses. Lifestyle solopreneurs, there's a free trial of Kajabi waiting for you at this link, www.kfreetrial.com. You can try Kajabi for free, no obligation, by going to www.kfreetrial.com. Again, kfreetrial.com, and that K stands for Kajabi. Starting an online business helped me break free from that corporate grind, and I hope it does the same for you. You have nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, and see you next time.